Welcome to Fusion tonight. Yeah. Are you ready to worship? Yeah. Tonight we have Lisa Congdon stopping by as our guest. And we have a sit-down talk with Denise Barr.
Sit down.
Music by Covet Oswald. And now, put your hands together for your host, Jon Cooper.
Welcome back to Fusion tonight. I'm your host, Jon Cooper. How are we doing tonight? Yes. Glad to see everybody. Everybody have a good Christmas break? Yes, we have a fantastic show. So many things have happened in the news since we last saw each other. I don't know if you've been paying attention. I saw this. A United Airlines flight was forced to land early after a passenger was smearing poop all over the bathrooms. This is true. United Airlines officials said the incident was highly unusual because they usually only deal with crap at customer service. This was an odd story. Across the pond over in Spain, a man was pronounced dead by 3 different doctors, only to miraculously come back to life when he started snoring on the autopsy table. That's real. That's real. Yeah. The wife is thrilled that he's alive, but she's super disappointed that she still won't be able to sleep at night. So, a little bit of a mixed bag. And finally, this was an odd story. Oregon repealed a law that had required a gas station attendant to pump your gas for you. And people are freaking out because they don't know how to fill their own cars with gas. Yeah. Yeah, it's especially difficult for the people that have the gas door on the right side of their car because most people in Oregon think left. Yeah. You see what I did there. You guys, we have a fantastic show for you tonight. Please give it up for Mr. Covet Oswald on piano. Covet Oswald, ladies and gentlemen. I am so excited. We have such a fantastic show to kick off the spring season. Our first guest that's going to be stopping by tonight to talk about our new offering, Lisa Congdon, will be on the show tonight. She's awesome. Fantastic. The media guy really likes her, so I'm really likes her. And I'm really excited. I had a wonderful meeting with her as we were preparing for this talk. I'm so excited to hear her speak tonight as we sit down and talk about all of the cool stuff she's doing. Denise Barr is your speaker tonight. Yeah. And I hear the guy that leads Transformation Band is really excited about her. So I'm really excited. We have two fantastic guests tonight. But before we can talk to our guests, it would be a good time to kick off our season with a little bit of open mic time. This is your chance to share whatever's on your heart and mind, whatever you want to celebrate about, whatever you want to pray about, whatever it is, this is your chance to just shout it out. So with that, I open it up to all of you for open mic. Not all at once, guys. Somebody has to have some news. Liz, yes.
Well, I go back to school next week, and my boyfriend and I move, and his son starts a new school. This is Jack. This is his son, Jack. He starts a new school on Tuesday. So we both start school again on Tuesday.
So some big changes. So good luck going back to school. Jack, good luck going back to school. And glad to have you with us, Jack. Nice to meet a new face. Yes, Cindy. Praying for Nancy. Hopefully the doctors are able to help her and she can get healthy, get the surgery, and get back to feeling good. So absolutely prayers for that. COVID. exciting. Safe travels. And, yeah.
Say hi to Sheldon while you're there. Yeah. Nana lives there too.
See why I don't bring him?
Yes.
We think
Does anyone else have any other prayers or anything that they want to lift up? Sue.
My nephew and his wife had their first baby on December 28th, and he is the first cutest baby ever born in mankind. I'll show you pictures later if you want to judge, but he wins.
Cutest baby. I'm going to tell Harrison Fransdall that you said that. They're gonna compete. They're gonna. Okay. So it'll be kind of like Zoolander versus Hansel, if anyone gets that reference. The old guard and the new up-and-comer. All right. Does anyone else? Gabby. Disney World in Florida. Yes. Yes, absolutely. Prayers for the Thomas and for Leslie. And if you follow with her Caring Bridge and or Facebook post, the first day she was supposed to have a scooter to help ride around so she wouldn't use a lot of energy. And the first day there was a mishap, so she didn't have the scooter. So she ended up walking around the whole park for the day, which, like, how great is our God that she was able to do that and spend time with her kids. But luckily she has the scooter now, so hopefully they continue to have a lot of fun and prayers as she continues to battle. And with that, let us bow our heads in a time of prayer. Gracious and Holy Father, we just want to start by thanking you for allowing us all to return from Christmas break and celebrating the birth of your Son and celebrating the holidays with our family and friends and bringing us back here safely so that we can continue to worship with one another, we can continue to love with one another and grow together in our faith and grow together in our walks of life. We lift up prayers for everyone in this room that has made it back and all the journeys that they took in our short time away and all of the little things that they might be going through on a daily basis. And we extend prayers for the folks outside of this room that we've lifted up tonight, dealing with various health scares and a newborn baby and some saddening revelations of cancer. May the strength that you provide us be the same strength that you provide all those that are also outside this room battling everything that they are. May you lead us with your love and with your guidance that we may be strong. May we be people of love and kindness. May we be people that pray not only when we're in church but when we're at home. May we lift up our power of prayer daily. And may we do everything we can to be a shining light on everyone we meet. And all of the prayers that are on our hearts that maybe we're not ready to say but that are there, may you hear those prayers too. May you hear what's in our hearts and in our minds. And may you provide us comfort as we just continue to search for ways to do all that we can to be closer to you, closer with one another. And as we pray for these things, may we do so in the prayer that your Son Jesus Christ taught us, saying, Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to get hyped. I'm so excited to kick it off, to talk about offering. Please give it up for Lisa Congdon. Lisa, I'm so excited to see you. This is the first time Lisa and I actually are even talking since I've been back, and I appreciated the hug. It felt like a nice warm blanket just now when you embraced me. Mm-hmm. And because we didn't do any preliminaries, because I'm a young person who procrastinates, I'm going to guess that our offering this month has something to do with these blankets that you've
It could be. Well, look at this thing. Did you ever have something like this?
Not with giraffes on it. Look at this.
Isn't that fabulous? I mean, but you had something like that, right? Everybody had something like that. What did you call it?
My blankie.
Exactly, a blankie. Okay,
Yes.
Anybody else have a blankie? You still have a blankie, maybe? Yes. Maybe I still have a blankie.
It's folded up at my mom's house.
Okay, yeah.
I didn't have the heart to get rid of it. I couldn't do it.
Mine fell apart finally, so I had to borrow
I folded
this
that like I fold the sheets at my house.
Yeah. So a blankie is not just something to sleep with. It's kind of, what else can you do with a blanket?
You can keep warm, but it's like security.
It's
That's
security,
the
exactly.
security blanket. Like Linus. Was it Linus from the Peanuts gang that was always sucking on his thumb? That thumb has been so filthy. Just dirtiest thumb ever. Bad teeth too, but I digress.
There's that.
It's a sense of warmth and security, I would say.
When I was a kid, I would make forts out of blankets.
If we had more time, I would totally build one with you right now.
See, forts out of blankets. You can pile all your stuff on a blanket and carry it with you. You can do all kinds of things with a blanket.
You could wear it like a cape.
A cape.
So you could be a superhero.
Superhero blanket. So this sort of kind of brings me into Church World Service blankets. This organization provides blankets, weather-appropriate blankets, like we got these heavy wool ones for weather like we have now. We have the lighter blankets for the warmer climates. I think they even have kind of water-repellent blankets, too. There's one in the gathering place. And for every $10 that we donate, they can provide a blanket, an appropriate kind of blanket for a person in need, either a person who's cold, perhaps has lost their home in a tornado or a flood, or is homeless and is in a shelter. Can go to refugees who this may be what they live under, that kind of a thing. So this is our offering for this month, with blankets.
So
$10. I mean, look at this thing. It's huge.
Here, let's fan it out.
Let's fan them out. I know.
Let's give them an idea of how. I got long arms.
Long arms. All right. $10. Look at that thing. See, $10 for that. You could put a family of 5 under there. All right. See. All right.
So for $10. $10 you can get a blanket for a family.
Just like this, for a family in need.
For a family in need. It's a wonderful cause, and we hope that during our time of offering, you will give generously and with your whole heart. So
right.
Lisa, thank you so much.
Welcome. All right.
Lisa Congan, everybody.
All right. Charge. Okay, you want to keep it?
I'll keep this one.
Got it.
You just got. Oh, man. Lisa made my job very easy, because the next thing we're doing is offering, and everything we need to say about it has been said. So you have 2 giving jars on either end of the room. You can either donate during the song or after the service, or you can just donate with your prayers or whatever your heart calls you to give. This is your time for offering. I'm just so excited for our main event speaker. A little background. This is her first time being up here at Fusion and giving a talk. She is a part of helping out with the women at the well. They go visit women in prison, and she's part of the reentry team. That's a big part of helping them reassimilate to regular life, to get them back on their feet, to get them back to contributing and being the best they can be. And I'm so excited that she's here to talk about it. Please give it up for Denise Barr. Denise Barr, how you doing? You ready for this? Not nervous at all, right? Little? Is your mic on?
Now it is. Now it is.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
now
now
it
it is. Oh, we better move this out.
So I gave a little background. You
Okay.
are part of the Women at the Well reentry team, and I'm so excited. So we're just going to just dive right in. How
Okay.
did you get involved with Women at the Well and doing this reentry team program?
Well, it started with our bus trip. We go down twice a year to the prison to one of the church services. And I can't remember who it was, but somebody said, hey, you want to come along? We're going to go do that. And I thought, well, sure. I was kind of curious what they did. I thought, sure, I'll go down. So went down for that. And shortly afterwards, they had a training session for the reentry teams. And I thought, well, I'll take the classes and see what it is. And I didn't know if I'd be involved or not, but I thought I'd try it. And decided I'd go with it.
You've been doing it ever since?
Mm-hmm.
So how long ago was it? So when did you officially start? When was that?
Actually, the end of July of 2016, we got Gloria, and the first thing we did with her was brought her to the garage sale before it started and let her pick out clothes. At the time, she was still over at the Women's Center for Change, and so when she was released from there, we helped her find an apartment, got furniture donated, dishes donated, all kinds of things, took her to the store with her food stamps and everything, and we ended up having to buy some supplies and things for her because toilet paper, laundry soap, dish soap, any kind of cleaners, mops, none of that stuff's covered. So
Right.
we helped her get her apartment set up.
Help her get started. And so that
Yep.
was July 2016. So that was a year and a half ago, if I'm
Mhm.
doing my math right. That was a year and a half ago that you started.
Mhm.
So, I mean, that's already a year and a half that you've been involved with Gloria.
Mhm.
So how long is the total commitment that they expect when you sign up for this?
Well, the actual requirement is a year, but you can stay longer if you needed to. And Gloria, after 7 months, had a parole violation, and it landed her back in prison in February 2017. And we decided she was going to be in for at least 6 months. So we decided we would stick with her, visit her, write her letters, give her encouragement, and try to help her get on her feet when she came back out again. So we've decided to stick with her longer than our actual reentry team commitment. And then in September, the parole board turned her down, and we just found out last week that as tomorrow she's being released and will be brought to the Women's Center for Change tomorrow. So we'll be working with her.
Which is really exciting that
Yeah.
she's getting another
Right.
chance.
Right. So, one of the reasons that we know she's getting out, she got out this time, back in December, they had a new staff member, and the inmates were kind of giving her a bad time and harassing her, kind of like kids do with a substitute teacher or something, and trying to, tell them stories and, all kinds of stuff, give them a bad time. And Gloria had kind of had it. She told them to knock it out, straighten up. She was just trying to do her job, told them to leave her alone, and she was overheard by another staff member, and then she got called in the office. And she thought, oh, geez, what'd I do wrong? And she got in there, and they said, we've decided to have an inmate of the month for the best behaved inmate, and you're the first one we're going to have because of what she did. She knew she was going to get some flack for it from some of the inmates would bug her about, trying to get in good with the staff and stuff, but she knew did what she did was right, so she just let it roll off her back, and I was proud of her because it shows how much she's grown,
Yeah.
that she was able to stand up and do that. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
So
And she sent me her picture. They took a picture of her, and she sent it to me, so I got to have a picture of her.
which is awesome.
Which
So
one,
you
yeah.
got
Yeah.
a trophy of this
Right.
person
Right.
that you've been helping out.
Mm-hmm.
So you've been working with Gloria for a while now,
Mhm.
and we had a great talk Monday, and you're continued to just really see this through and make sure that she gets on her feet. So what all is it as part of this commitment that you are actually committed to do? Like, so what are your roles in this?
Well, when they get out of the Center for Change, they need to find a place to live, They need to get food. They need to have furniture. They may need rides. They may need bus tickets. They may need, there's places we can get some of those things for them. Some things we provided if we couldn't find it somewhere else. Everybody has different needs. Some of them don't know how to budget their money. They don't know how to shop. They want to look for a job. They don't know how to dress or what to do. Every woman's needs are different. So it's just kind of feeling them out. They also have a different background, different upbringing. We kind of have to get to know them and find out what it is they really need and what we can do to help.
So that's a wide array.
Right,
I mean,
right.
it's really just whatever they need.
Right.
You're there to help them because.
And then we've also got our biblical commitment.
Right.
Isaiah 42:6-7 says, "I, the Lord, have called you to righteousness. I will take hold of your hand. I will keep you and make you to be a covenant for the people and a light for the Gentiles, to open the eyes of the blind, to free the captives from prison, and to release from the dungeon those who sit in darkness." And to me, this means that God's welcoming the Gentiles and all of humanity into his family, even the people who are in prison. So
It's everybody.
It's everybody.
It's not just
right.
some people. It's definitely everybody.
And then the last line of Matthew 25:36 says, "I was in prison and you came to visit me." So that's what we've been doing. And then continuing on in that chapter in Matthew, the last line of Matthew 25:40 says, "Whatever you do for the least of these brothers of mine, you did for me." So through the leading of Jesus Christ, who died for all of our sins, our purpose is to continue his work and reach out to those in need and work with them. So,
Absolutely. And
so that's
that's women at the well in a nutshell.
Right.
You have people that have been arrested, that have been forgotten or ignored by the rest of society, and God has called us to love everybody, not just those of us that we think are doing it right. So, just absolutely wonderful, and obviously, what they get out of it is huge because they're getting another chance at life.
Right.
But what are some of the rewards that you get out of it, being somebody that gets to see that growth?
Well, the rewards that Gloria gets from me are also the rewards that I get. Hopefully, her reward will be getting a better chance at life, be able to do some of the things that she wants to do that she's never been able to do. And our reward is when she lets us know that we've made a difference and been able to help her. My hope is that more people in the church will get involved in the prison ministry and make a difference for these women. People like us may be their only hope, the first people to show them unconditional love of Christ. Without the help of a reentry team, many go back to their friends, family, whatever they did before, and they get in trouble again, then they're back in prison again, and the cycle goes round and round. Life outside in the world here is hard for someone who's been in prison, and sometimes it's easier to mess up and go back where you got a bed. It might be lumpy and not very comfortable. You got food to eat. It might not be the best food, but at least you're not fighting to find the food and a place to sleep.
At least you have something
you have something to depend on, right, right.
You can count on it. Even if it's not good, it's there.
Right, and a lot of the women are back in Mitchellville within 90 days. So when Gloria had reached her 90 days, we kind of had a little celebration, and we're glad that she made it there. She lasted actually 7 months out of prison, that last release, and we hope that this time will be for a lifetime. So that's our goal, and we're encouraged by the words from her letters, and I went through the letters I've gotten from her from February until now, and I've picked out just a few lines just to kind of let you know how we can tell that she's grown. A group of us got together and started a Bible study group. It gives me hope and encourages me. I try to keep my spirit free. I'm housed in an MLO, minimum live out, outside the fence. No interaction with anyone or anything inside the fence. It opened a couple of years ago. No library, no gym, no church services, only 2 classes every 2 months. Very, very boring. So it was very stressful when she first went in and was living under those circumstances. I must get established in a church around a circle of people who don't judge me and who want me to succeed. I've never in my life had people in my life that had my back the way you all did and still do. Your support was fundamental in my freedom. I'm excited because we have a church service here every Friday. God truly is good, especially when you seek his kingdom first. And Gloria was one of the women that had been repeatedly requesting that they get a church service in that building outside the gates, and they got that accomplished.
You actually have a newspaper article
Yes.
that's with you
Yes.
that they covered it.
The Sunday Des Moines Register. And it's an article that talks about Pastor Lee Schott, and it's a good one if anybody wants to read this. She got a law degree from Harvard and had a 15-year career as an attorney, and then decided to go into ministry. She got her Master's of Divinity in 2007, and she worked at Polk City for a while, and then went to the Women of the Well in Mitchellville and has stayed there. And as an attorney, she associated with a lot of people like her. Now she kind of associates with everybody, even the murderers and everybody, like that. Some of the points in this article: 70% of the women in Mitchellville have a mental illness problem. 80% have had addiction problems, and 90% are survivors of sexual violence against them. So a lot of them have all three, and they kind of feed off each other. And so that's part of that cycle of getting back in. They get out, and if they don't get the right treatment, they're back in again.
Yeah, and I mean,
so
it's
a
you
problem.
look at it from the outside in and think, well, gosh, how do you even have a chance?
Right.
So
Right.
it's amazing as we go back in the letters that Gloria really fought for this church service and had the support of someone. What was her Pastor Lee
Schott.
Pastor Lee Schott. The fact that she had the support to get those church services going is really a way to help kind of break some of those cycles and really give people a chance.
Right. Okay. I was denied my parole for 5 more months. I was devastated, nearly lost my faith in God. I regrouped within 24 hours and apologized to God for my moment of weakness. Now, how often do we in 24 hours apologize to God for a moment of weakness? It kind of shows how her strength is growing here. You have had such a huge positive impact on my wretched and pathetic little life, and truly do love you all. You are teaching me what it is to live like a normal life, and that is something I have craved forever. You showed me something I've never had, unconditional love. The more I reflect, the more I've come to believe that this incarceration was meant to get me back on track and get my priorities together. This whole experience has been a revelation for me. I have to love myself enough to forgive myself for my mistakes. I have learned that I am not the sum total of my past, and I am an overcomer. Is that even a word? I am learning slowly but surely that I can do all things through Christ Jesus who strengthens me. I thank God every day for putting such supportive and reliable people in my life. I have never had this before. So you can see where she's learned, she talks about a pathetic little life, and then she's learning to forgive herself. So she's growing here. I've been let down and disappointed far too many times by human beings. I'll put my trust and faith in God. I have just finally begun to understand that my life has got to be balanced physically, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. It's like all these revelations keep coming to me about what I need to do outside of here. I thank God for this enlightenment. So she's taken the bad thing of not being turned down for that first time she was up for parole and made something good of it, and seeing that there's a purpose for it, that God was teaching her something through that. So she's seen a positive side for it, which is, I was excited to see that. And then I'm excited about my life for the first time in a very, very long time. And it's truly because you and Jenny and Dee and the new perspectives you've given me. You all believed in me enough to stay with me during this incarceration, and as a result, I have been inspired and empowered to do and be more. Thank you all. I've experienced genuine love that's unconditional. Thank you, Denise. I love you, friend. And that's what I get out of it. I know I've done something, helped someone, and that really means a lot.
It really is amazing, because I have a copy of those same letters, and just reading through them, the power of this program and people like you going in and working with them and getting to know them, and then through Christ, to watch her go from this person that thought so little of herself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not normal. She just thought she was so insignificant, to the point where she's excited about a life she can live. She's realizing her value. That's so important.
Mm-hmm.
To jump back, you quoted Matthew 25:40.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you do for the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you do for me. Can you talk about, in closing, what this has done for you and how you view the least of these, and how that's changed your life and your perspective?
Well, the first few times we went to the prison, you see some of the girls around there, you think, what in the heck did you do to get yourself in here and like that? And now when I see them, I think, what happened to you? Were you raped? What happened to you? Did you have addictions? What happened to get you to this point? And it kind of makes me look at people differently. I was kind of like, the pastor here who, she said she stuck with people that were kind of like her at first, and then once she started working in the prison, now she's working with murderers and all kinds of other people and stuff, and she's not just sticking with other attorneys and other people like her. And I used to just basically hang out with people like me too, and now I've been spending time in prison with people and writing letters, and I've looked at things differently, a little differently, instead of saying, what did you do wrong? It's like, well, what happened to you that made you go wrong? And what can we do as people of the church to help people either not go wrong in the first place, or to help them get back out if they do make mistakes?
It's incredible. I'm so glad that you have had this transformation in Christ, and you've allowed someone like Lori to have this same transformation. I can't thank you enough for the work that you do, and all the people that volunteer at Women at the Well, and that really reach out in the most Christ-like way I think I can think of, and really reach out to the people that get ignored and shoved to the side. And from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for all that you've been doing with this, and thank you so much for sharing it. So, ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Denise Barr.
Okay, should we go sit down?
You can sit here, or you can go sit down.
I'll sit here. I'll sit
Wherever you want to sit.
I'll
Show's
just sit.
almost over,
Okay.
so you don't have to move if you don't want.
Okay.
We are now going to have a reflection song so that we can kind of reflect on what Denise has talked about, and reflect on where we've seen the least of these and what we've done. And Denise chose just the perfect song. She chose Amazing Grace. So as the song plays, take this time to reflect, to pray, and be closer with God in this time. As you go forth through the week, may you think about what Denise has talked about, and may, hopefully you've learned what Denise has learned through her hands-on experience, that no matter where you are in your path, no matter how many times you've fallen off that beaten path, no matter what's happened to you, no matter what mistakes you've made, whether you're rich and successful or whether you found yourself in prison, God's grace is just limitless. You are never not loved. You are never not wanted. You are never not forgiven by Him. And may that message of hope be within you wherever you go, and may you share that with other people that haven't seen that light that God is in our lives. So thank you so much. Hope you all have a great week. Please be Christ for one another. Thank you all. Have a good night.